Hey, Broncos Country, what's going on, y'all? Man, it's your guy here, the old school Broncos fan who's been bleeding orange and blue since I was a kid running around the foothills outside Denver. You know how it is sitting here with a cold one after work, scrolling through the latest buzz from Dove Valley, heart still racing from that wild 2025 ride we just had. We went 14-3, won the AFC West, and had the whole league talking about how far this team had come. But here's the thing. Everybody out there is assuming that if Aaron Rodgers opts not to retire, he's sliding right back in as the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers one more time. Simple as that. Loyalty, right? But hold up. Broncos Country, picture this. What if the Denver Broncos are quietly cooking up a plot twist nobody saw coming? According to Mike Florio over at Pro Football Talk, and yeah, the guy's been around the block and drops these nuggets that actually move the needle. The Denver Broncos are at least considering the possibility of adding Rodgers to the roster. Now, I'm not saying it's done or anything crazy like that. We're talking about reports, scenarios, the kind of stuff that gets the whole building buzzing this time of year when free agency is still sorting itself out and everybody's trying to figure out how to get over the hump. But let's be real. As a fan who's watched this franchise grind through highs and lows, this one hits different. If this scenario plays out, it could shake up everything we built last season. Let me break it down without the hype, because that's not how we do it around here. Rodgers would be a massive swing for Sean Payton. Think about it, Payton's a Super Bowl winner, one of the best minds in the game. And like any coach who's hoisted that Lombardi with one franchise, he knows the history books. Don't have many guys who've done it with two different teams. Florio laid it out clean. Payton might be tempted to roll the dice on a future Hall of Famer if it gives us even a short-term edge to finish what we started in 2025. For Payton, he wrote, the chance to carve a new path for NFL coaches could be what gets him to Canton, and man, as a Broncos fan, I get the pull. We've got the pieces. Courtland Sutton still out there making contested catches look easy. Marvin Mims, JRB, burning defenses on the outside. Jalen Waddle adding that speed we picked up to stretch the field. Troy Franklin and Pat Bryant developing into real weapons. Lil Jordan Humphrey as that reliable veteran target. On the ground, J.K. Dobbins bringing that veteran thunder. Jaleel McLaughlin and Tyler Beatty and R.J. Harvey giving us that explosive backfield mix. Tight ends like Evan Engram, Adam Troutman, and Nate Adkins locking down the middle. The O-line with Garrett Bowles anchoring it. Quinn Miners, Mike McGlinchey, Ben Powers. Those guys protect the pocket like it's their religion. And defense? Patrick Surtain II locking down one side. Zach Ellen and Nick Bonito and Jonathan Cooper rushing the passer. Alex Singleton anchoring the linebackers. We've got the talent, Broncos Country. We were one ankle injury away from maybe even deeper in the playoffs last year. If Rodgers walks in, it's not just about talent, it's about that veteran presence in a locker room that's already clicking. Payton's building something special here, and yeah, I'm emotional about it because I've seen too many close calls. If this unfolds and we add a guy like Rodgers, even for a year or two, it could be the missing piece to push us past that divisional round wall. But here's where I keep it real with you. We're not chasing headlines. This is about smart football. Moves around the guys we already have. The building's been quiet on it, but the whispers are there. What's happening in Denver right now feels like one of those moments where the front office is weighing legacy against loyalty. And as fans, we're right there with them. Hearts on our sleeves. Now, let's talk about the guy who's been our rock, Bo Nix. If the Broncos even entertain bringing in Rodgers, it means at least one thing, and maybe two. First off, there are the reports about Nix's ankle. He took that tough hit on the design run in the divisional playoff game against the Bills last postseason surgery, and the recovery's been ahead of schedule according to the GM and the owner. They're saying he'll be ready for Otis, no long-term red flags, and the kid's been putting in the work like he always does. But let's say this scenario plays out where there's still some uncertainty about him being 100% by week 1. Florio mentioned the rumors that Denver might bring Rodgers in for a visit. And that's the motivation floating around. It's not throwing shade on Nix, it's just the reality of the NFL grind. Picture this. You've got a young quarterback who led us to 14-3, made clutch throws to Sutton and Waddle, handed off to Dobbins and McLaughlin for big gains, and kept defenses honest with his legs, until that one play changed everything. You want him healthy and sharp, but you also want to make sure the ship doesn't miss a beat if he needs a couple extra weeks. Beyond the injury, there's the bigger question about confidence. If Payton thinks Rodgers gives us a better shot at the Super Bowl right now than rolling with Nix full throttle from the jump, why wouldn't he at least explore it? That's what Florio's getting at, and I respect the honesty in the analysis. As a fan, Torn Nix earned our trust last year. He grew into the role, made the reads, protected the ball, and had the whole locker room rallying behind him. Jarrett Stidham and Sam Ehlinger are solid backups who've been in the mix, but Nix is the guy we drafted and developed. Bringing in a future Hall of Famer like Rodgers wouldn't be about giving up on him. It could actually be about mentoring the kid, showing him the ins and outs of playing at that level for years. Now, hold up, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Nix needs hand-holding. He's tough, he's smart, and he's got the arm talent and the work ethic. But if this plays out and Rodgers joins the building even temporarily, it could accelerate everything for our young core. Surtain locking down receivers, the pass rush getting home, the run game staying balanced. Let me paint the picture a little more. Broncos Country, because this stuff matters when you're building for the long haul. Last season, we saw what Nix could do when the O-line gave him time. Bowles and Miners and the crew stonewalling pass rushers while he found Engram over the middle or hit Mims on the deep ball. Add a veteran like Rodgers who's seen every defense, every situation, and suddenly the whole offense levels up. Payton's offense would get even sharper. But here's my honest take as someone who's watched this team through the good and the ugly. I don't want us to signal doubt in Nix too loud. He's earned the starting job. The recovery updates are positive. He's ahead of schedule, and the building knows it. If Rodgers comes in, it's gotta be framed as competition that makes everybody better, not a replacement. That's the kind of culture Payton's been preaching since he got here. And, yeah, it gets me fired up thinking about it. Because I want that Lombardi in Denver so bad I can taste it. We've got the defense, the skill players. The line, now it's about the right guy under center to tie it all together. If this scenario unfolds, it could be the ultimate chess move. Or it could be the reminder that our homegrown guy is ready to take the next step. On the flip side, if Aaron Rodgers walks away from Pittsburgh, the Steelers are in a real bind. Their quarterback room right now would be down to Will Howard and Mason Rudolph. That's it. They'd be scrambling to bring in some veteran stopgap, maybe a Kirk Cousins type or Carson Wentz if he's available, or they'd have to roll the dice in the draft on a rookie and hope he beats out the competition. The Steelers put themselves in a tough spot where they're basically banking hard on Rodgers coming back. If he doesn't, it's a whole new rebuild at the most important position. And that's no joke when you're trying to stay competitive in a stacked AFC North. But let's bring it back home. Broncos Country. Because this isn't about feeling sorry for Pittsburgh. This is about what it could mean for us inside the building at Dove Valley. If Rodgers becomes available, and we're the ones who snag him, it changes the whole conversation around the AFC. We already proved last year we can hang with anybody. 14-3 doesn't happen by accident. With Sutton, Waddle, Mims, and the rest of that receiving cores. A backfield led by Dobbins and McLaughlin. Tight ends who can block and catch. An offensive line that's battle-tested, and a defense anchored by Surtain II and those pass rushers who get after it every snap. Adding a guy with Rodgers' experience could be the difference between another strong regular season and actually hoisting the trophy. Payton knows it, the front office knows it, and we as fans feel it in our bones. Now, I'm not here to tell you this is definitely happening. Reports are reports. Florio's got the inside track, but nothing's signed. The ankle recovery for Nix is on track, the young quarterback's got the fire, and the roster we've got is built to win now. If this unfolds and Rodgers ends up in orange and blue, even for a short window, it's about legacy for Payton, for the franchise, for all of us who've waited through the lean years. But if we stick with Nix and the crew, I'm all in on that too. That's the beauty of Broncos Country. We trust the process. We ride with our guys, and we show up every Sunday ready to roar. What do you think, y'all? Drop it in the comments. Would you roll the dice on Rodgers to push us over the top? Or are you riding with Bo Nix all the way? Let's hear it. This is what makes the offseason fun. The speculation, the what-ifs, the hope that this could finally be our year. Thanks for hanging with me through all this, Broncos Country. Stay strong, stay orange and blue, and I'll catch you in the next one. Go Broncos!